A lion doesn't need to announce its presence. Its silence speaks louder than 1,000 roars. What's up, Ascenders? Let's drop the polite lies and crack this one open. The Sigma male is a force most women think they can handle until they can't. He doesn't play the emotional ping-pong. He doesn't chase. He doesn't shrink or perform. This isn't your everyday, strong, silent type. This is the man who vanishes from the radar but echoes in the mind. Not mysterious, intentional, not emotionally unavailable, just emotionally untouchable to those who haven't earned access. And the truth. Most women aren't ready to deal with a man who can walk away from affection like it's a transaction. They crave control. He gives them clarity, and clarity often scares people used to confusion. So today, we're unpacking the real reason why most women get shaken when they come face to face with the Sigma frequency. Not the filtered Instagram version, not the internet pop psych take, the real blueprint. And if you're part of the tribe that refuses to be average, hit that subscribe button, Ascender. Because around here, we don't follow, we ascend. 1. The Phantom Blueprint. The Sigma male doesn't need a spotlight. He is the presence. He's the guy who can walk into a room and flip the energy without saying a word. His power isn't in volume, it's in vibe. People feel him. They don't always understand him, but they sense something's different. He's not anti-social. He's anti-noise. The Phantom Blueprint is about operating silently, efficiently, and intentionally. No wasted energy, no performative masculinity, no chasing status. Most women are used to emotional overtures and predictable responses. The Sigma gives them none. He's not interested in playing a part or following their cues. He's running his own internal software, and it doesn't respond to surface-level input. He moves like smoke, hard to grab, impossible to trap. And the reason most women walk away shattered, because they try to figure him out using tactics that don't work on him. Jealousy games, guilt trips, emotional hooks, but he doesn't bite. He sees the whole board. He's 10 steps ahead, and by the time they realize he was never playing, he's already gone. Second, no map, no master, no muzzle. A Sigma doesn't take orders. He doesn't submit to groupthink. He doesn't mold himself to fit in. This makes him unpredictable to women who are used to men seeking direction, structure, or validation. He doesn't need a map. He builds the terrain as he walks it. No master because he's self-led. No muzzle because he speaks when it matters and stays silent when it's smarter. The reason this terrifies people, and especially romantic partners, is simple. You can't control what you don't understand. And you can't bond with someone who refuses to let their identity be compromised, even a little. Relationships for most people are about negotiation. For the Sigma, it's about alignment. If it doesn't align, he won't force it. If you don't speak his language, he won't translate himself. That kind of self-possession? Most women say they want it, but when they feel it up close, they realize this man doesn't need them. He chooses them, and if they mistake that as weakness, they're gone before they even knew what hit them. 3. Emotional sovereignty. The Sigma male doesn't run on emotional chaos. He runs on emotional clarity. He doesn't blow up over a late reply. He doesn't get sucked into drama. He doesn't crumble when he's ghosted. He simply moves on with grace, silence, and zero theatrics. That kind of restraint isn't weakness. It's mastery. He understands his triggers. He controls his pace. He's not emotionally unavailable. He's emotionally untouchable by manipulation. Women who thrive on reactive men don't last long around a Sigma because he doesn't give them the spike of validation they expect. He doesn't react. He observes. And that observation, it unnerves. Because you never know what he's thinking, but you know he's always thinking something. He's not stone-hearted. He's just not programmable. And when a woman realizes she can't emotionally shake him, she often checks out, not because he lacks depth, but because he refuses to sink just to meet her where she's drowning. The untrainable factor. Most women are used to shaping men, slowly, subtly, intentionally. They call it growth. The Sigma male calls it conditioning, and he doesn't play that game. He's not defiant for show. He's untrainable by nature. You can't tweak him. You can't adjust him like a project. He's already gone through his own fire, and what came out the other side isn't up for negotiation. That's the wall many women hit. They try the emotional tricks that worked on others. Sulking, withdrawal, performance. He doesn't move. Why? Because he doesn't chase comfort. He chases truth. A Sigma male knows that love, if it's real, doesn't require reshaping him. And if it does require that, then it's not love, it's control in costume. And that control, he won't let anyone hold it, even if it costs him the relationship. So most women, instead of embracing the challenge, leave. Not because he failed them, but because they failed to rewrite him. 5. Selective vulnerability. Here's the thing, a Sigma male can be vulnerable, but it's not on demand. He doesn't open up because someone expects it. He opens up when there's safety, respect, and depth. And even then, it's not a waterfall. It's a slow drip, real, deliberate, earned. This selective vulnerability is misunderstood. Women used to emotionally expressive men might think, he's hiding something. He's emotionally closed off. Wrong. He's protecting his inner sanctum. And it's not because he's scared. It's because he knows his energy is sacred. He's seen what happens when you give too much, too soon. So now, he moves with discipline. He listens 10 times more than he speaks. He shares when silence has said enough, and still, someone deserves to hear more. That's standard. It disqualifies many, because most don't want to earn a man's trust anymore. They want full access, immediately. But Sigma makes you deserve the code, and that for many is too slow, too hard, too real. 6. The anti-simp algorithm. Sigma doesn't orbit. He doesn't overtext. He doesn't pour his energy into attention sinks or dopamine bait. His mindset? If you want me, show up. If you don't, move. I'm busy. This is the anti-simp algorithm. Where average men seek likes and approval, the Sigma seeks efficiency and reciprocity. He doesn't throw compliments hoping for return attention. He doesn't overextend emotionally. He doesn't cling to women just because they're attractive. He filters everything through one question. Is this worth my time and energy? And most of the time, the answer is no. This drives some women crazy. They're used to men melting at their presence. The Sigma stays centered. They escalate. They test. They threaten to leave. He shrugs. Because when a woman tries to manipulate him with absence, he treats it as a gift. His self-worth doesn't rise or fall based on someone's attention span. And if someone takes him for granted, he doesn't complain. He disengages, quiet, cold, final. 7. Unfiltered authenticity. The Sigma male doesn't do masks. What you see is what's real. What you don't see isn't a game, it's guarded depth. He doesn't fake smiles. He doesn't small talk just to fill the air. He's not here to charm you. He's here to be him, and if you can't handle it, he'll step out of your frame without a sound. In a world that lives on filters, fake energy, and rehearsed personalities, this hits hard. Women used to men who say what they want to hear suddenly meet a man who says what they need to hear, even if it burns, even if it breaks the mood, even if it ends the connection. Sigma doesn't exist to make people feel better about themselves through lies. His loyalty is to truth, and truth doesn't always dress nice. That honesty, it draws some in, but only the strong stay, because it's not flirty, it's not poetic, it's raw. And when someone tries to mirror him, play along, or fake alignment, he sees it instantly. Then he disconnects, not because he's rude, but because life's too short for surface energy. He walks unfiltered, even if it makes others uncomfortable. That's not a bug in his system, it's the feature. 8. Purpose over partnership. The Sigma male isn't anti-relationship, he's just not dependent on it. His first commitment isn't to a partner, it's to a mission. That mission can be career, growth, discipline, legacy, whatever burns at the center of his soul. If a woman fits into that, beautiful. If she distracts from it, gone. He doesn't sacrifice direction for connection, and many women can't handle that. They want to be the center. They want a man who will bend the journey for them. Sigma won't, not out of spite, but because he knows any relationship that costs him his essence isn't love, it's debt. This makes him seem cold, detached, but really, he's grounded. And if someone walks beside him, she has to walk. He's not stopping to pull anyone forward. So most women leave, not because he's too distant, but because he won't rearrange his soul to keep them close. 9. Still, waters cut deep. Most people mistake stillness for emptiness, but with the Sigma, still waters don't just run deep, they cut. He's observant. He notices what others miss. He listens before he speaks. He watches the energy in a room like a hunter watches terrain. And while others are reacting, posting, talking, he's collecting data. This depth isn't for show, it's his default setting. That's why shallow conversation exhausts him. Small talk feels like static. He wants connection that's rooted, not rushed. Women who crave excitement often misread him. They think he's cold or disconnected, but really he's studying them deeply, silently. He can see patterns in behavior that others overlook. He can spot manipulation from the first smile. He sees through performance and straight to intention. And when he's silent, that silence has weight. Most women are used to men who talk to impress. Sigma uses silence to reveal, and when they realize they've been understood more than they ever said out loud, they either get addicted or they run. The silent disruptor. The Sigma male doesn't walk in loud. He doesn't announce his presence, but somehow the whole room shifts when he shows up. He's the glitch in the social matrix. While others try to dominate with charisma or force, he changes dynamics through presence alone. He's the guy who says almost nothing, yet people start acting different when he's around. Not out of fear, out of confusion. They don't know why he's so calm, so sure, so in control. That silence, it's not a void, it's a statement, a boundary, a test. He doesn't chase approval, doesn't explain himself. He exists in a kind of energy field that makes people second-guess their roles. Women especially feel it, because Sigma doesn't flirt like the rest. He doesn't validate on cue, and when they expect attention, they get stillness. That stillness, it disrupts. They push harder, get louder, try to provoke a reaction. But the Sigma isn't wired for reaction. He's designed for response, and only when it's worth it. So they're left wondering, why does he get under my skin without even trying? Answer: because silence in the hands of a confident man is a weapon, and most aren't built to survive it. 11th. Mystique is not equal to mystery. People confuse the Sigma male's energy with being mysterious. But mystery implies intentional hiding. Mystique, that's natural depth. He's not being cryptic to attract you. He's just not broadcasting his soul to people who haven't earned access. That distinction matters. He's not here to make you curious. He's just not giving it all away. Not to impress, not to manipulate, just because he doesn't need attention to feel real. This throws people off, especially women who are used to men oversharing to win points. Sigma doesn't play that game. He's layered, but he's not performative. And if you ask a shallow question, don't expect a deep answer. You don't get to dive into his core just because you're curious. You earn that by being real, by staying consistent, by proving you're not just another tourist in his world. So yes, there's mystique, but it's not bait, it's boundary. And for most women, that boundary is too frustrating. They want immediate access. He offers none, so they label him distant, hard to read, closed off. What they really mean is, he didn't play my game. 12. The burnout test. Here's a truth bomb most don't want to hear. A Sigma doesn't burn out. You do. Women who step into a connection with him expecting the usual feedback loops, attention, reassurance, reaction, find something else. Stillness, boundaries, unavailability to nonsense. At first, that seems like mystery. Then it becomes silence. Then it becomes too much work. Because most women don't want love. They want emotional labor done for them. The Sigma doesn't provide that. He doesn't answer every insecurity. He doesn't manage your moods. He doesn't fill the silence with sweet lies. He gives space, and that space, it reflects. If you're insecure, it magnifies it. If you're fake, it exposes it. If you're real, it strengthens you. Most women walk in excited by the Sigma's confidence, but leave exhausted by the lack of control they have over him. They can't break him, can't guilt him, can't box him in. And when a woman can't shape a man, she either levels up or taps out. And most, they burn out long before he even breaks stride. 13. Resilience is his love language. Forget grand gestures. Forget over-the-top displays. The Sigma male expresses love through resilience. He's not going to flood your DMS. He won't explode with emotional declarations. What he will do, show up, stay solid, stay loyal. When things get rough, he doesn't vanish. He doesn't emotionally check out. He doubles down on discipline, calm, and clarity. That's his form of intimacy. But here's the issue. Most people are conditioned to recognize love through chaos, through drama, through visible effort. Sigma's love is subtle but deep. It shows up in how he protects your time, how he respects your space, how he doesn't lie, doesn't play games, and doesn't make promises he can't keep. It's not poetic, it's not flashy, it's quiet strength, and that gets misread. A woman might say, he doesn't care. But the truth, he cares too much to fake it. His love doesn't compete with noise. It stands still, unmoved, waiting for the one who sees its weight. 14th, not here to impress. The Sigma male doesn't perform. Not for women, not for society, not even for himself. He's not putting on a show, he's just living aligned. He won't post gym pics to prove strength. Won't buy flashy things for strangers' approval. Won't say what you want to hear to keep you around. That's what makes him magnetic. He's not trying to impress. So when you're impressed, it's real. Women are used to men curating themselves, sculpting their words, wearing image like armor. Sigma doesn't do image. He is the image. You either feel him or you don't. Either way, he's cool, because his self-worth isn't up for auction, and attention isn't currency to him. It's clutter. So if a woman tries to get a reaction, to get validation, to feel chosen, she'll be waiting. Not because he doesn't notice her, but because he's busy being unshakably himself. And for most women, that kind of stillness, it's too quiet, too strong, too real. 15. The exit comes easy. This is what truly breaks people. The Sigma doesn't beg, doesn't argue, doesn't explain. He just leaves. Not in anger, not in panic, in peace. That exit, it hits like thunder, because people expect resistance. They want closure, drama, pleading. Sigma gives them none of it. He's already played out every scenario in his head, and when he realizes something no longer aligns, he disengages fully, emotionally, mentally, physically, and his absence, it's louder than any speech. Women used to power through arguments, create tension to spark connection. They don't know what to do with a man who refuses to play. He's not being cold, he's being final. And the craziest part, he won't look back, won't check your stories, won't second guess. He's not moving out of pain, he's moving toward peace. And once a Sigma male chooses that over connection, nothing will bring him back. Let's get brutally honest, Ascenders. The Sigma male isn't hard to handle because he's broken. He's hard to handle because he's whole. He doesn't seek chaos. He doesn't need saving. He doesn't want a script. He wants truth, alignment, silence that builds. And most people, especially those craving control, can't stomach that kind of intensity. So they bounce. They label him cold, distant, detached. But they never forget him, because while others came and went, he stayed unshaken, unapologetic, unowned. So the real question isn't, can you handle a Sigma male? It's this: can you face someone who doesn't need you but still chooses you? Can you match energy with a man who's not trying to win you, but trying to stay free? If this hit you somewhere deeper than expected, you already know what to do. Subscribe, evolve, ascend. Until next time, stay rare, stay sharp, stay Sigma.